Welcome back to the onX Offroad Build Challenge, where 3 teams are fighting for a spot in this year's ultimate adventure. Last time, our teams took their stock vehicles as far as they could make it up Moab Rim. You can see how far each team made it up the trail by downloading the onX Offroad app and following their route. Team Rad Mischief was the first team to try and make it up the trail.
For the onX Offroad Build Challenge, we chose a 1987 Dodge Ram Charger.
It is gorgeous. I am loving this because it's very American. Being from Scotland, this is something we kind of see on the TV and the movies.
Everything was going smooth. Our approach and departure angle were kind of a killer though.
So we started making our way up the trail and I felt like we were going up there pretty well. Be careful. Oh, that looks awful.
Have you driven up this before?
Well, I have, but in, 42-inch tires.
Oh.
So, we don't have 42-inch tires.
No.
Yo, you've spent how much? We're going to Utah. Ian! We are in beautiful southern Utah, a state best known for stunning natural landscape, pastrami burgers, and the annual Sundance Film Festival. Utah is home to 43 state parks and has some of the best off-roading in the country in places like Moab and Sand Hollow. And onX has mapped over 25,000 miles of trails in this state. But we're here to visit Rudy and Hollie, who have started the build process on their Ram Charger and need some budget advice.
Okay, we have a game plan for the truck, especially after climbing up Moab Rim, which was super sketchy. I really did not want to do that, but we know that we have to kind of lift the truck a little bit, right? Because it's pretty low as a stock vehicle.
The full size I think is a perfect platform for the area, and there's just a lot of opportunities for what we can do with it. That being said, we plan on four-linking the front and then keeping the rear on leaf springs. Basically we're going to make a full-size stock Jeep Cherokee.
I think we're just going to be doing a little thing here and there, but not too much to it because again, we only have $15,000, which to a lot of people is not even a budget build, but when you start trying to build something, that money goes pretty quickly, so.
Like Hollie said, the teams have a budget of $15,000 to purchase and build their vehicles. So I walked around with Hollie and Rudy to get an idea of how much money they've spent, and it was a lot.
Going with an old vehicle like this, the chrome touches are just everything. So I want to keep this chrome bull bar. We'll keep it rusty and everything. But then, the center section here between the frame rails is going to be where the real bumper is that holds the winch. Okay. And we can snatch block to it and everything. So the front, we're going to go with the Barnes parallel 4-link kit with a track bar or panhard bar. To hold the front of this Ram Charger up, we're going to be using some Fox coilovers. That should keep everything tied together pretty good. It should be able to go over the rocks really well with that. So in the back, we're just doing leaf springs. We're gonna go with the Chevy, those famous 63-inch Chevy leaf springs in the back.
So we've been working on the axles, especially yesterday. So we tore the old ones out. We're putting Super Duty ones underneath there now. It's 2008. It is a Super 60 in the front, which we cleaned up all day yesterday. They look really fantastic now. We must have shaved off about, I don't know, it's not gonna be 250 pounds, but it seemed like that because chunks of metal were coming off. And then we have the 10.5 Sterling in the rear.
Putting these full width 1-ton axles underneath this Ram Charger looks like it's gonna fit perfectly, like it was meant to be. So the challenges with how the build will go will be at a minimum. I think we'll have a really sorted out rig by the time the competition comes around. We're not running 42s, we can't afford them, but yeah, there's plenty of room for that.
At this time, Rudy and Hollie have budgeted the following items: $2,500 on the truck, $1,000 worth of tubing, $4,300 worth of Yukon gear and axle parts to rebuild their axles, $1,000 to get those axles, $500 for tires, $500 for wheels, $1,000 for coilovers for the front suspension, $250 for their leaf springs in the back, and $600 for their rear shocks. $1,800 to convert it over to fuel injection, $800 for drive shafts, transfer case and doubler, $200, bunch of stuff from Barnes 4-wheel drive to make everything work, $1,400, and they plan to do a PSC full hydro assist kit at $500, meaning they have spent so far $16,350.
Well, after talking with you, Ian, and realizing that we had spent quite a lot of the budget already, we have stripped that back after a 2-hour conversation. We're definitely going to go into some different directions. We're going to try and do most of the work ourselves, fab everything ourselves instead of just getting it from other companies.
Oh, that feels terrible. This one's bad, really bad.
That little funny extension thing on there, that's kind of fun, huh?
Right. So we are obviously we're in the garage. We're underneath the Ram Charger. We're doing some filming for the Ram Charger in onX Offroad.
We are. Since Rudy had to take off to take care of a few things, I decided to jump in and give Hollie a hand pulling out the transfer case on the Ram Charger to help get this project a little further down the road.
Oh, I was just taking it all.
While visiting Hollie, Kevin Stearns from JKS and Fox stopped by to give his opinion on suspension design and what Hollie and Rudy have planned.
Suspension is important in Ultimate Adventure because you have both road days and off-roading, usually pretty severe off-roading. So you want to have a capable system that can articulate and provide good ride quality, but still be dynamic enough to handle well on the street at 60, 70 miles an hour.
Each competitor is using the discounts that they receive from being an elite member of the onX Offroad app. But you don't have to be in this competition to take advantage of those savings. Any elite member of onX Offroad gets access to great discounts on some of the largest brands in the off-road automotive aftermarket. You can save a pile of money on the parts that you need to tackle your next adventure and then use onX Offroad to plan it.
I think the biggest challenge in building the Ram Charger is just making sure that it's going to be good on and off-road. I feel like we're focusing a lot on how it's going to perform off-road. And I know these cars are built to just be on-road, so I'm sure that's going to be fine, but I'm a little concerned about it. I'm also concerned about that beautiful rounded glass that I am very much in love with and love to polish up. I have a feeling that's going to go for sure at some point. So, and it's also just trying to figure out how to and where to put everything, because it's a 7-day trip, potentially a 7-day trip, and we have to sleep and eat and get everything in there, spare parts. A lot of stuff has to happen in there and be stored in there just safely as well.
After visiting with Team Rad Mischief in Utah, I do have some concerns about the project. Now, I think it's a great idea. I agree with Fred. I think that Ram Charger is possibly the best base vehicle to take on Ultimate Adventure. It's a lot of work to get everything done that they plan to get done in the time frame they have for us all to meet at the end of July for the ultimate road trip test of these vehicles. I think what's gonna end up happening with them is they're gonna go over budget, and then I think by the time they show up for the actual competition in July, I think they're gonna have basically set aside a bunch of stuff that they just couldn't get done because they ran out of time. But if you think they still have a chance, make sure to head over to the onX Offroad Build Challenge and vote for Team Rad Mischief.